everybody. Today you are going to be listening to my how-to demonstration, and I'm going to show you how I make jambalaya to feed my family. So first off, I have already prepped my veggies. So in here I have some diced onion, and in here I have a diced yellow and orange bell pepper. I'm going to add these to a skillet. So to my bell peppers and onions, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of minced garlic. And then I'm going to cut off a little knob of butter, and we're just going to let this get all nice and simmered until the onions are. So one skill that is going to help you be more efficient in the kitchen is to learn to clean up as you go. You don't need them anymore. They're going in the sink. So when I'm finished, I can load them all up in the dishwasher and I don't have to clean up a big mess. Another tip that I have to help you be more efficient in the kitchen is to have a little trash bag. So this way, whenever you finish something, so in here I have my onion scraps and my bell pepper scraps. So instead of having to run to the trash can every time I'm finished with something, I can just sit it in this bag and it makes for easy cleanup later on. Something else that will benefit you in the kitchen is learning how to multitask. So over here, I have my veggies simmering, and in this pot, while my veggies are simmering, I'm going to add a little bit of oil, and I'm going to toast my rice while my veggies are simmering. This will help cut down on time, so your recipe will be finished quicker. While our veggies are simmering and our rice is toasting, we are going to get started cutting up our chicken. We're just going to slice it into about 1-inch cubes. Okay, so now that my bell peppers and onions are finished cooking, they're translucent, I'm going to turn off the heat, and then I'm going to transfer the cooked peppers and onions into this bowl. Alright, while our rice is still toasting, we are going to take our cooked chicken. We're going to turn the same pan we cooked our veggies in back up to medium heat. We're going to add in our chicken. And now we're going to season our chicken. So you can do this with pretty much whatever you like, but this is just what I've always done. I do some black pepper, a little bit of slap your mama seasoning, just a little bit of salt. I like to pour it into my hand first and then onto the chicken to make sure we don't have any salt accidents. Then we're going to go into our spice cabinet up here. I'm going to add a little bit of adobo seasoning and a little bit of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. And then we are going to get a new spatula, and we're just going to cook that until it reaches 165 internal temperature. While our chicken is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and cut up our smoked sausage. We're going to add the smoked sausage to the pan when the chicken is about 50% done. So our rice is finished toasting. You can see it's got some pretty little brown rice bits in there. So to that, I'm going to add tomato sauce. The recipe calls for 2 8-ounce cans, but I bought 15-ounce cans. So I'll probably end up using about 1 to 1.5 cans. So we're just going to open these up and then dump them into our rice. It's looking like I'm going to need 2 cans. You're definitely going to need 2 cans. So I'm going to turn our heat back down to low. We're going to open our second can. And then we're going to add this into our rice. That was probably about half a can. So I'm just going to mix that up. And then we're going to add a little bit of chicken broth. Okay, so to our rice, we're going to add about a cup of water or chicken broth, whichever you have or prefer. And then we're going to mix that up. And then we're going to lid it and then let it cook for about 20-25 minutes until the rice is done. And now I'm going to cut up the smoked sausage to add to the chicken because it is about halfway finished. You can see we got a little color on there, but the inside isn't quite done. So I already cut up one roll. We're just going to cut up the other roll. We're going to add our sausage. Then we're going to add the plate into the sink. And again, since I touched raw meat, we're going to wash our hands. So now our rice is boiling. As you can see, we got some bubbles going. So that is my cue. I'm going to season it now. So I'm going to do the same thing I added to the chicken. And I actually think I'm going to add a little bit more liquid. So I have my mug. We're gonna come get some water. It's about halfway full. And we're gonna add that back to our rice. That's just to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom when it continues to boil. There you go. See, that calmed down the boiling a little bit. And then I'm just going to put another lid back on that and let it sit for about 20-25 minutes. And then we're going to come back and check on our chicken. So as you can see, we added our sausage already, but it hasn't started getting any color on it yet. So we're just going to keep mixing, and our chicken's not done yet either. So we're just going to cook this until it's got some brown crispy bits. And then we're going to add it all together. Okay, so as of now, my rice has absorbed pretty much all of my water, as you can see. Still got a little boil going on, nothing too crazy. And my sausage and chicken have both developed a nice color. So I'm going to turn off my sausage and my chicken, and I'm going to add it little by little into my rice. So after we add in the chicken and the sausage to the rice, I'm going to give it a good mix just to get everything incorporated. And then I'm going to add in about a spoonful of tomato paste, about half a can of the tomatoes and peppers. And we're going to give all that a big mix, and then we're going to, after we add in our rotel and tomato paste, I'm going to add in our sauteed peppers, onions, and garlic from earlier. We're going to add all that in and then give it a big stir. Alright, so whenever all that is mixed off, I'm just going to sit my spoon there. We're going to put a lid on it. Make sure it's on low to low medium heat, and we're going to let that settle for about half an hour. When you're letting your jambalaya settle for about 30 minutes, now is a good time to do your dishes and then clean up your mess. So start on the dishes. This is why cleaning as you go is so important, because whenever this delicious meal is finished, you're not going to have any cleanup to do. So once you've let this simmer for about half an hour, it's time to plate it. Making this recipe is easy, but if you follow my 3 helpful tips, which are prep your vegetables beforehand, multitask, and clean as you go, this recipe will be even easier, and you can have dinner on the table in less than an hour. I hope you enjoy.